The P90, I'm just gonna say it, it looks weird, but it's oddly beautiful at the same time. It is part of the SMG class available to the support class in Delta Force. I've been playing with it for quite a while. I'm really past due on actually making a build video for this specific weapon. And I actually have two builds for all of you today. So one that's more of a well-rounded build that you can use in like most situations. And one that's just a full-bore build, just rushing into the enemy, hip-firing everyone, not really aiming down sight unless you absolutely need to at range. So that's what I wanted to share with all of you today, and without further ado, let's get stuck right into the builds. So starting off with a blank slate here, we are going to go with the barrel. The first build we're going to go over is the well or rounded-ish build is what I called it. So we're going to go with the P90 heavy assault long barrel. So install that and then calibrate this thing with plus 50 grams and negative 10 millimeters. So that loss in muzzle velocity is not too much of a big deal here because generally speaking, you're not going to be using this weapon at like super long ranges. We're going to still increase that overall range at which you can do maximum damage, but it's still not going to be like crazy. It is an SMG after all. For the muzzle, I chose to go with the SMG Echo Suppressor, so you're getting some of that increased range and muzzle velocity. So now it's going all the way out to 20 meters as opposed to the 15 meters base on this specific weapon. You also get an increase in control, but negative stats and everything else. So equip that. For the foregrip, a recurring one here, the X25U angled combat foregrip, and then we calibrate this with plus 4 slots and plus 20 millimeters in thickness to get plus 16% stability when moving and plus 3.84% extra control. This weapon, considering how fast it fires, does feel like it jumps a lot more because you're getting more of that recoil per second, if that kind of makes sense. I'm probably not explaining myself very well, but I hope that you understand what I'm trying to get to. So for the rest of this, there's not a whole lot you can actually do with the P90. You can't change the stock, you can't change the pistol grip. So we're going to put a P90 stock pad on here, obviously no downsides, and then you can actually calibrate this, and I chose to go for this specific build with plus 50 grams and plus 50 millimeters in thickness, giving you plus 4% firing stability and plus 6% extra control. And then for the cheek pad, you can equip that and calibrate it as well, and I did the same with plus 50 grams and plus 50 millimeters, increasing the firing stability and control even further. For the optic, I went with the multi-purpose tactical riser because you can put handguards on both of these rails, but I still wanted to have the laser device on here. I went with the XRO quick response sight, which I then increased the zoom by 0.25x and reduced the eye relief by 20 millimeters. Put a tactical device on here. I put the green one because I think it fits with my actual weapon skin that I have on here, but pick anyone you want. And then for the left and right rail, I did want to increase that accuracy a little bit more for those situations where I'm not aiming down sight. So go ahead and put a Hornet handguard panel on here, but you could put any handguards on there for a stat that you feel might be a little bit low, like maybe handling. But when I'm getting in CQB situations, if I do ADS, it's probably with the tactical stance, which is a really fast way of ADSing. So that is the first build. So kind of all like a well-rounded build that you can use in most situations. And then for the second build, I did purely accuracy, your hip firing, just running into enemies non-stop. So put the Cheetah heavy barrel on here, so that gives you plus 8 accuracy, which is what we want in this case. And then calibrate this with negative 50 grams and negative 10 millimeters to get plus 3% ADS speed and plus 4% ADS movement speed. So even though you might not be ADSing this weapon a lot, when you do, you're going to be moving a little bit faster. For the actual barrel, I chose to go with the Blazing Fire Suppressor. Honestly, most of them are just kind of meh for this because none of them really increase your overall accuracy for that hip fire. So I just chose to go with something that conceals my muzzle flash and gives me increase in recoil control. So go ahead and equip that. For the foregrip, again, can't beat this, especially with the accuracy that it gives. So you're getting plus 8 accuracy with the X25U, so that's why I'm mostly using this grip, not so much for the control in this case. And then I calibrated this with plus 20 millimeters to get some extra stability when moving. And then the rest, obviously, just equip the attachments. There's no downside. And then go ahead and calibrate this. I chose to go with plus 50 grams to give us plus 6% extra control and negative 50 millimeters to give us plus 5% hipfire aim speed. For the cheek pad, I went with the same. For the cheek pad calibration, I chose to go with the same. So plus 50 grams and negative 50 millimeters. So plus 6% extra control and plus 5% hipfire aim speed. So you're going to go from running to actually being able to fire really quickly with this build. For the optic, pick whatever you want, honestly. I had the mini RDS equipped on this one, but anyone will do. And then for the calibration on this, negative 20 millimeters, and honestly, you could probably just keep it as is. I chose to go with negative 25x on this one because I'm mostly using it in like super CQB situations. And finally, you only have a right rail here. Again, put the laser light combo that you prefer and put the green one because, again, it fits the aesthetic of the skin that I have equipped right now. So install that. So that is the CQB build for the P90. And to use the well-rounded build, you need to get the weapon up to level 45 in order to use any handguards, but you can probably just forego these until you reach that level. If not, you go down to level 36 for the CQB build. That gives you the blazing fire suppressor. Again, you could probably just forego that. If not, pretty much all the attachments you get before level 25, so you can use these builds quite early. P90 is just, again, insanely fast firing, does decent damage, and when you're using that well-rounded build, you're pushing out that max damage to 20 meters, which for an SMG is really good. But if you're opting more for the CQB build, you get that reduced range at 15 meters, but you're still doing really crazy damage, and the hipfire speed on this thing is just absolutely insane. Overall, a very fun weapon to use for the support class. I highly recommend it. As per usual, the share codes for these weapons will be in the description down below, as well as in the top pinned comment. If there are any weapons you would like to see featured in an upcoming video, or if you have any cursed builds to share with me, leave them down there as well. Now I'll leave you with a few highlights of either of these builds. In any case, hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.